Hello, friends.
Hello.
Welcome to Graham Radio. How we doing today?
How's it going?
Going
Good,
well.
good.
So can we introduce ourselves and tell me who you're representing?
Nate Verde, Bootz N Catz.
Mickey Dawson, Bootz N Catz.
Well, welcome to Graham Radio, fellas. So, how long have you guys been in the house music scene?
Oh, geez.
Like prior to DJing, just total.
I mean, I don't know. Sure.
All of it. I'd say my first house show was 98 or 99. Started DJing when I was like 17 in high school.
What was your first house music show?
So I'm originally from Maryland. The major radio station there used
He's
to be
from Maryland.
Crab Cakes and Football. So there used to be a local radio station called WHFS, kind of like the 93.3 here. And they'd throw a show every summer, and it was called the HF Festival. And it would be like big name rock bands, and then they would also do a huge transmissions tent, is what they called it, on the parking lot. So you could see, like, I remember seeing Red Hot Chili Peppers with like Beastie Boys inside, and then go
Sick.
outside and see the Chemical Brothers, the Crystal Method,
Oh my
all on the same
gosh.
day. Yeah.
And this is in like 98, 99.
98, 99.
Okay.
yeah.
And is that what inspired you to start DJing?
No. I grew up a drummer and mainly in like the punk and metal scene, and had no interest in electronic music at all. I have an older brother who's 8 years older than me. He went to school in London, and when he came back was super into big beat at that time and drum and bass. And as a drummer, I was interested in drum and bass because it just sounded cool. So I would do some live drum and bass stuff with him, and then that just kind of grew into trying to learn how to DJ, and then I kind of got into it.
What was your first DJ deck?
Purple Newmark belt drive turntables.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it one standalone thing, or was it literally two turntables and a mixer?
Purple Newmark belt drive turntables, and I can't even remember the mixer.
Was it a Newmark mixer?
Yep.
Wow.
Piece of crap.
Nate, what about you? What brings you to house music?
Oh, geez. I mean, since
Talk
honestly,
into the mic. Talk into the mic.
Since I was a little kid, actually, I listened to 93.3 and what was it? The house music.
Was 93.3 like the party station?
Oh yeah,
or
for
something?
sure. Yeah. I mean, at the time, Tampa was kind of small, back in the 90s. So 93.3 was really the only option. So they did I think it was like the Saturday night house party, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
I used
yeah?
to record those on cassette, like just so I can like play them back during the day because there wasn't the internet really.
Wait, you used to record radio?
Yes. Well, this was the early 90s though. So I mean, I was like,
Wait. So you used to record radio station sets on a cassette?
Yes.
The play record button.
Yep. Yeah, just record and then listen to it back during the week, like like at night or whatever, like doing homework or whenever I had the chance.
How long were the sets?
Oh, jeez. I mean, it was 9 o'clock at night till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, obviously I wouldn't do it the whole time because I was a little kid, but they would start at 9, so I'd probably do like maybe an hour or so.
Was it all house music or?
I mean, at that time, Florida was floor breaks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then like some trance. I mean, this was again early.
Yeah,
90s.
trance was big in the early 90s.
Yeah, trance and breaks, I would say mainly.
How old are you guys?
I'm 34.
38.
34 and 38. You guys look a lot younger than that.
Oh, thank you.
Or maybe I'm
the
just
tequila.
getting maybe I'm just
Yes,
getting
the tequila.
older. Maybe I'm just getting older, and I think that and maybe you just like stop aging for like 10 years between your late 20s and your late 30s.
Right.
I don't know. That probably doesn't make any sense. I'm 28. I don't know if you guys were wondering. But damn, you guys, I thought that you guys were younger, honestly. Because like I've met both of you a few
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
I thought that you guys were like in like your late 20s or something.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, damn, you were recorded. Do you still have any of those cassettes?
I'd have to go to my parents' house. And,
Can you
like,
imagine
check.
that though? Can you imagine
Right?
if
Yeah.
you found those?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah. So what was the Civil War like?
It was actually pretty sweet.
World War I, World War II.
Yeah.
World War One. All right. That's enough of that. Damn. Wait. So did you have a Walkman or something that you would listen to those cassettes?
I mean,
cassettes
actually,
on?
that phased out pretty quick.
The yellow Sony that everyone had.
Right. No. I mean, that was really a short period of time, and then CDs came, and then
Did you have any classic house CDs? Yeah.
Jeez. I think I have. It was mainly Seagulls is what I bought because I mainly listened to the radio.
Singles.
Yeah. And they would just literally like somebody would drop like a track and it would just be one track, maybe two on a CD, and then that was it. I guess like a modern day EP.
Yeah.
Right.
I still have a book of CDs back home.
Yeah.
Of classic house?
Yeah.
No
like
way.
The old DJ Rap double album, the Crystal Method Community Service album, Prodigy Fat of the Land. Yeah.
Have you converted those to digital?
I mean, you don't really need to
Yeah,
now because
I
I
mean,
have
it's
Apple
all out
Music
there.
or Spotify. You just, look right
Okay,
there.
but some CDs and some vinyls I know aren't on Apple
Yeah,
Music and
yeah,
Spotify.
yeah.
those are the rare ones.
Yeah.
Like
I
some
don't
white
think
label
I have any
stuff.
of those,
I
yeah.
got some records that maybe not on the radio.
Yeah. I want to hear more about like your rise through like so you guys both have full-time jobs.
Yes.
I know that.
Yeah.
But your entire life you've like devoted a lot of time to your passions,
Oh, yeah,
correct?
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, can you elaborate on that?
I mean, shoot. I started right when I got out of high school. I was in the same situation as him.
Started what?
DJing.
Okay.
So I grew up playing the drums. I did drumline and all that stuff. And then like I always wanted to DJ though. So I would be in like Mars Music taking drum lessons. And then I would, as soon as I was done with the drum lessons, I'd go in like the DJ room and I just start listening to like the vinyl and like at that time it was like the CD decks. And then my wife, well now at the time my wife, she got me my first set of vinyl from like my graduation present. And then like I never looked back to the drums. I was like, all right, we're going.
So do you still DJ on turntables?
No.
But like
I mean, I still have my techniques in my closet, but
right. Yeah, but they're in your closet.
yeah. But yeah, no, I still have them. I mean, I haven't broken them out in a while. I probably should.
Right.
But
Or
yeah.
sell them.
No.
No?
Yeah, no.
Why not? If they're in your closet, just sell your old stuff.
I can't get rid of them. No.
If you have old gear, then you should just sell it. I think the rule is if you haven't used it in 6 months, then you should get rid of it.
Old gear versus like vintage gear, I'd say is different though. Like if you have a CDJ you're not using, sure. But if you have a piece like a Technique 1200, which they just reintroduced but stopped making for a long time, you're not going to just get rid of that. You know what I mean?
Why? If you never use it.
Because more than likely, in a few more years, if they stop making it again, it'll be worth like triple the amount of money.
Okay, then you're feeding my point here. You should sell it. Okay, fine.
At
Sit on it
some
for longer.
point, sell it.
Okay,
Yes,
but
At some point, sell it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's more of nostalgia thing.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay,
Like a-
then sell it.
like
if
a
you're
memento.
keeping something for and the only reason that you're keeping it is nostalgia,
I mean,
then sell it.
I think if I had more room in my studio at the time, I probably would have the
It's
full
in
setup.
your closet. More room in your studio. You have
You should
turntables
see
in
my
your
studio. I have no room out. I don't even have enough room to set up my CDJs right now.
What's okay? Well, still.
I have a producing rig, and then I've got like I started buying hardware.
Okay,
So, like,
let's pump the
synthesizers.
brakes here. Let's pump the brakes here. If you have old gear that you're only keeping for nostalgic purposes, then you should sell it because it's just taking up room. I bet there's probably stuff in your studio that you could sell.
Probably.
Get rid of that stuff
No,
and
never.
but like, are you just keeping it because you're a pack rat? Like,
I wouldn't call me a pack rat. No. I mean, it's just, I guess it goes for the same people with like that still have their like NESs. And I mean, I honestly kind of regret selling those too.
what are NESs?
Nintendo Entertainment
Nintendos.
System, the old school Nintendo, like
Yeah,
the
like Super
original
Nintendos, like the
Nintendo.
with the cassettes, and you had to blow into them to get them to work and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are cool, but that's
I
cool.
feel like we're showing our age.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, no, that's fine. Who cares? Yeah, no, dive deep into it.
My old rotary phone, you know.
Yeah, now women have rights and can vote and it's fucking bullshit and fucking shit. I'll edit that out. Don't worry.
You're cool, bro.
Everyone has rights now. Fucking shit. All right. So sorry to get back to it. Yeah, I mean, one thing that I've found is that when you keep old stuff, it just carries. You just have to carry it with you wherever you go. Here's a perfect example. I started DJing in 2019. What does that mean? That means that I started downloading music in 2019. Not just saving stuff for offline listening on Spotify. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Downloading and purchasing MP3s and WAV files from
Yep.
Beatport and other entities. So all of a sudden, I have gigabytes of music.
Yeah, terabytes, bro.
Terabytes.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward 2 years, there's probably like a full 10 gigabytes, maybe 15 of music that I no longer use. So, like, why do I keep that? Like, why?
Because you may.
You still
so,
may.
You know what's funny?
You still may use them. I always, especially when me and him go back to back, we always try to like see who can like pick out like the best like hit or whatever from
You're
the
saying
90s
like
or
a lot.
shit.
We talked about this.
So yeah, right. No, but like playing with him will essentially try to see who can dig deeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of, and we've talked about this,
Sure.
randomly throwing a throwback party. So maybe in a few months, maybe in a year, we'll throw a 2010 party where all we play is the hits from 2010.
Big
So
room.
at that point,
Cry just a little if I think of
exactly,
letting go.
little bingo players,
no.
right?
Right? Yeah,
Give
yeah,
a
yeah. Some
mama
Avicii.
little
Exactly.
cry.
Little Avicii, little
Just a
take
little.
over control. You just never know. Anyway, but it's like because of those reasons. And, you know, the thing is, music now, with producers, with the way we access music, it is so accessible and there's so many artists releasing stuff so frequently that a song may not get, and I know this is true on the other side too, a song may get too much airplay, but a song may not get enough airplay because it's released on a Thursday and by Saturday there's 17 other hits that are like just as good,
So
if not
wait, there's
better.
17 other hits. How about 17 million other songs?
Right,
Oh, yeah.
but that
That's-
one
yeah.
song
Yeah.
maybe you only played one time. Maybe you
Yeah.
want to circle back to it.
Yeah.
Half of my playlist is I play it once.
Yeah.
Because I like for the most part, like if I'm playing, especially direct support for somebody, I like playing the newest music.
Yeah. But if there's a good song that was out like 8 or 9 years ago and it only was, you know, banging for like a week, I'll bring it back. I'll throw it back into a set, but throw it back into rotation.
Okay, fine. Then let's compromise. We're going to circle back to what I was just saying. If you have these 10 or 15 gigabytes of music that you're no longer playing, you should just upload them to a cloud service and then just not think about
I just throw
them
them on an external hard drive
Yeah.
and then
So
external hard drive,
Yeah.
cloud service,
For sure.
potato. You know, it's the same. Yeah.
I
don't
will
trust the
do
cloud.
that. I'll take it off my thumb drive and put it on like I have a cloud server at home, like a 3 terabyte. Put all the stuff to there.
My guy's flexing about the 3 terabyte the hard drive. Casual flex.
Casual flex.
Yeah, no big deal. I have a 4. It's whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I got it at a garage sale.
Yeah. Bed Bath and Beyond. Not
No,
sure. Just
not
quiet little Saturday
not
afternoon.
Bed Bath and Beyond. Oh. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think that if you have old shit, you got to get rid of it. With that being said, I'll never get rid of my Rain turntables.
Oh, there you
I
go.
love-
Uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There
I
he
love
goes.
those. It's like the most inconvenient equipment ever because like it's literally turntables, but it's actually not turntables at all. It's just MIDI turntables.
Yeah.
So there's no needle or anything. It just
Right.
looks like and feels like turntables. I have one turntable that I never use. It's just in my closet. I got it as a gift. But like, and I have vinyls, but none of them are house vinyls. So I never use the turntable, but I'm going to keep it in case I ever need a turntable. In case I ever need it. You
Wait,
know
so
what
if
I
it doesn't
mean?
have needles, how would you play records on it?
You connect it to a mixer, which is then connected to Serato on your computer.
But what if it's like an old school like
Like an actual LP?
an LP that you
You
need a
can't-
needle?
Well, I have a turntable for that. I have
Oh, you have
I
a
have another
legit-
turntable.
gotcha.
Okay.
I have 2 Rain turntables and one something else turntable. I think it's a Technique, but
I mean,
maybe
that's
not.
eventually what I would like to do in
What?
my dream house is to have like a vinyl setup to where
Wouldn't that be so sick?
I could just go grab a vinyl from back in the day and then just throw it on and listen to it.
You know who has like a ton of vinyls? Jason Kitchen. Jason Kitchen
Oh,
told
yeah.
me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
Lyndon has a ton.
Does
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to check that out someday.
My buddy Monk, man, I remember he used to have a warehouse around here, and he had like, I would say, it's like 4 or 5 stacks tall, and like maybe 75 feet down of just vinyl.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Where does that all come from? Like,
I mean,
is
that
it
was
just
the-
passed
how-
down?
Well, a
Well, I
lot
mean,
of it,
so,
people
like,
they collected
I
it. I
mean,
mean, that's all
Kitchen's
you
been
had.
around for a long time DJing. I mean, Monk's been around since like the very beginnings of the '90s Florida Tampa scene.
That's so sick.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm just thinking business ideas. You can probably make a lot of money getting paid to convert vinyl to digital? Because I know how to do it. I've done it before. I've done it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
You can do it on Audacity. It sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should hit up Lyndon. And
That's
have
actually
him
how I
give
used to
me $10
record my
million.
mixes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Audacity. Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? You record
So
them?
through like my through the mixer from the Techniques, because we're at in the early until like 2010s, there was no just recording directly into your computer, so you had to get creative and essentially record through Audacity.
I still do Audacity.
No, there's nothing wrong with Audacity.
Well, I
still use it too.
I'll tell you how I record Immersive Groove. I record it on my phone through like the Pioneer DJM app, which is amazing.
The Rec app.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, the what?
DJM Rec.
Yeah.
Record?
DJM Rec.
Yeah.
Yes. I do that, and then I just like convert it to. I put it in Audacity. I export the WAV file. I put it in I put it in some mastering software, and then I export that, and then that's the mix, and it's nice and easy.
Yeah.
I'm curious. What was the first mix that you ever made, Nate?
Jeez.
What was the first mix that you ever made and like felt actually proud of enough to post it?
I'd probably say maybe 2010, 11, or somewhere around there. Maybe. I think this was like even before SoundCloud days. I think you only.
What
had,
was the situation? Did you have like your turntables? Did you put it like how did you put it out? Where did you put it in
I think it was
2010?
Mixcloud at that time, if I'm not mistaken. I think SoundCloud wasn't a thing. I think there was Mixcloud. And I don't know. I mean, I started DJing in 2007. At that point, I felt comfortable enough to where like I was probably going to start doing like put myself out there for gigs and stuff. And I just uploaded it to Mixcloud, and I think it was MySpace. Well, no, Facebook was a thing then, but it was like I just put it out there, and I mean it did okay. I mean, obviously I had to record a billion times to get it perfect because vinyl. But yeah.
Well, what about you, Mickey? Well, your first mix that you really put out.
Man, that's a good question. I think the first mix I actually recorded and put out for other people to listen to wasn't actually until probably like 2012, maybe 13, and it was the first time I played Hallucination Before Christmas. And
Well, I don't know what that is.
you don't know what that is?
What?
How do you live in Tampa?
What?
So it's like one of the longest running parties in Tampa.
It's like a Christmas party in a sense.
It's a Christmas time, but it's based on Nightmare Before Christmas. So everything is
like
Night Before
all
Christmas
themed
themed. And it's sick. You got to go this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to go.
I want to say they've been going for like 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think this year was like 25 or 26 or something.
What? So is it like a city run thing or
No, it's just hallucination.
Yep. So my buddy, I was telling you, Monk.
It's just a hallucination.
Well, no,
Does it even exist?
that's a promoting company.
Yeah, Hallucination used to be a record company / promotion company. My buddy Monk as one of the founding members of Rabbit in the Moon. So it was Bunny, Dave Christopher, and Monk. Those guys started here, and they started doing the Hallucination Before Christmas parties. It's part charity, part music event. It's always kind of multi-genre. Like this year, I think it was 3 rooms. So it's like a house room,
There's like
drum
a
and bass room, and then like a techno / underground house room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to pivot here a little bit.
Pivot.
Can you tell me what exactly Bootz N Catz is and how it started?
I would say how it started. It was just a couple of us. At the time, it was me, Tommy, Dan, Winta, and Mickey, and we're just like none of the venues and promoters are booking.
Give me even more context. Where were you? What year was it?
Oh geez. Well, we started in 2018. That was our first party, so I think it was beginning of that year. I think we were in.
I remember me and Nate met up in Miami that year, and we had been talking about it prior to, and we were just talking about how like unhappy we were with which, and a lot of people say, listen, there are a lot of venues doing a lot of great things, bring a lot of great artists, but to be honest, a lot of them bring them when it's safe, when they know they can get a crowd, when they're already like at a certain level. And we were like, at that point, we were playing a lot of music. And we're like, man, I would love to bring this artist, but they don't come to Tampa until they're at a higher level and a higher cost. Wouldn't it be cool to bring them before they blow up.
Yeah.
And we saw a ton of those artists in Miami. We networked with a lot of artists around then, and we were just like, we could do this. Like, we have the network, we have the means, we just need to find a few other little pieces, and we could do it. And that was March, and we threw our first Bootz N Catz.
March of 2018.
Yep,
Yeah,
and that was
yeah.
March 2018, and April 2018, we threw our first Bootz N Catz at Carmine's with Dylan Nathaniel.
Yeah, it was a Sunday party.
Sick. I love Dylan Nathaniel.
That was his Tampa debut.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
We've
what's
done a
that song?
lot of
I love
Tampa
that song.
debuts.
I love that Dylan Nathaniel song. Do it again. Do it again. How does it go? I love that song. Sorry to derail your
You're good,
explanation
you're good.
of
No
Bootz N
worries.
Catz.
But that was kind of it. Like, you know, we all had DJ backgrounds. You know, Nate
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
resident at the Ritz. You know, Tommy played the circuit a bunch because he's been around. I played a bunch. And we were just like, you know, it's fun playing other venues and doing their thing. But we kind of wanted to have creative direction to do our own thing and bring artists that we wanted to bring that maybe other venues and promoters weren't willing to take the risk. Because doing this thing, anyone will tell you, is there's a lot of risk. You know, you can easily book a expensive artist and know it's going to sell out, but to take a risk on like an artist that's never been here, that maybe doesn't have a ton of pull, is scary.
Yeah, it is kind of yeah.
But to our benefit, like, it's helped us build a lot of really good, strong relationship with
Yeah.
those artists. You know,
Yeah.
So speaking of risk, and I'm sorry to bring this up. I know that you guys lost a trailer or something.
Yeah,
RIP.
we got our trailer stolen with all our gear in it.
Yeah.
What happened?
So I was actually on a road trip across country to Colorado at the time. And this was the same time.
So it wasn't my fault, guys.
Right. No, it was, I think someone just taking advantage of, because it was the same time of Hurricane Ian. And, you know, Florida was going crazy at that time. And we just parked it in like a storage line, like a, you know, just one of those storage places or whatever. And
So give me more context. What was this trailer? How big was it? What was in
it
it?
was a 6 foot by 12 foot.
yeah, 6 foot by 12.
Enclosed trailer. We had all of our sound, amps, the lighting. The only thing that wasn't in it was our CDJs and mixers, because we always take those home after shows.
Thank goodness.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have been furious if those were in there.
I mean, we were furious.
we were
but
furious,
more
but I mean,
and
How did you find out that it was stolen?
so we had air tags and all
yeah,
our
we had
stuff.
air tags, and I get back into town, and 2 of them are like in different parts of the city, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just like a glitch, like. And I was at work. I was at work at the time, so I was like, well, I'll just check it in an hour, maybe, like, because they're in a lot, so it's based off of, you know, somebody with another cell phone passing it or however the signal's picked up.
Okay.
So then an hour later, they're still on 2 sides of Tampa. Like, one's like Hula Bay, like in, you know, kind of near the
South
port,
of
I
West
guess.
Shore.
And then the other one's like the Riverview area. I'm like, what is going on? So I go over to the lot. It's like 5 minutes from my house, and the trailer's not there. And like I was like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I immediately called these guys, and I was like, I think our trailer's stolen. And then
Did you
know,
go to where the AirTag was?
we went to one of them, and the thieves knew exactly what they were doing, though, because they put them on random vehicles. We found one that was like on a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
So one of them, yeah, to his
Or
point,
Jeep
was
Wrangler.
like, it was showing at like Hula Bay area, and it was there for a few hours. And I told him, I was like, let's just go check it out. I was like, you know, at best situation, we show up and maybe we see some of our gear in the back of someone's car or truck or whatever. Worst case, we get there and it's not there. But I was like, I'd least like some peace of mind to be like, we at least did everything we could. So it was like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Got strapped, rolled down to Hula Bay just in case.
Just in case.
And it was like a Jeep, and you know you can hit
Like
the place.
you got strapped, like you got like a gun.
Yeah.
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 I mean, we have
Just
our,
in case, I don't know who robbed us.
Right.
What
Yeah.
if I show up and I'm like looking at someone's things and they're like, "Hello, friend."
Yeah.
we got our
Clippity
conceals,
clap.
so.
You know. And so then we get
clippity clap.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then we get there and we're like, you know, we hit the play sound and I'm like, we can hear it, and it's a Jeep.
Yeah.
And then what we found out was is someone found the AirTag, took it off, and put it in the spare tire in the back of someone's Jeep.
Yeah.
And then they took the other AirTag and
then the other
attached
one
it to
was
like
on
a semi,
and it
headed to
so
like
it
Florida.
went across on the other
or
side of
Miami.
Florida. I ended up talking to like 3 different jurisdictions throughout the time because it was moving. So where it's in Orlando now, so we got to transfer you to Orlando. Then it went to like Melbourne or something like that. So we got to transfer you to Melbourne.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
yeah,
It was a nightmare.
Tell me about these AirTags. Like, first of all, explain what an AirTag is.
you know the Apple AirTags. Essentially, just to kind of track something.
They're little discs, and you can set it up on anything, keys, any device you want, and it will alert you. The one thing I wish it did do is like, so if you're near it and you walk away from it, it'll let you know you walked away from it.
Okay.
Or you can just check the location. But unless there's something I don't know, what I do wish is that would have been beneficial for us is if you can set it at like when we dropped it off at storage to say, if it moves from here, alert me. But as far as I know, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, you can.
You can only just check on it. You can?
Yeah.
Where were the air tags in the trailer?
One of them was in...
One was inside the amp rack, like
Right.
hidden inside the amp rack.
Okay.
And then another one
And they found that.
Yeah.
and they found that.
So they knew what they were doing.
They knew it.
But
These people knew what they were
we
doing.
think what happened was because it was a hurricane situation right prior, I think the storage unit stopped locking their gate so people could have 24 access to get their stuff out. And I think the people just, because, you know, it was interesting is like when we first started storing our stuff there wasn't an outside camera. And then after that there was, which led me to believe other people probably got their shit stolen and then started like harassing them. And they're like, well, maybe we should do that for our own whatever. And you never know. It could just straight up be an inside job. Hey, I'm some kid working the counter.
Yeah.
I know that for the next 4 days, we're going to leave the gate open. I'm going to tell my buddies, come gank everything you can.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
And split the profit
freaking
with me.
out. The hurricane's coming.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck people. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, game plan for next time.
Game plan.
New trailer, new amps, decoy air tags.
I mean, so we have, like,
We've kind of downsized.
We've downsized our rig because the thing is, like, I mean, we had a lot of stuff and we didn't need as much stuff as we did.
Yeah.
And eventually we probably will maybe get another trailer and figure out more of a secure, maybe a friend's property to locate, like keep it on with the cameras and things like that. But for the time being, like I have a storage unit up by my house, which is nowhere near here, but we have some sound and I have it inside in an inside storage under lock and key.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I want to pivot here a little bit. Bootz N Catz, whenever you guys have a show, whenever you guys have stuff going on, I'm sure that a lot of DJs hit you up to DJ,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Like, how do you decipher between the DJs who you like bring in and the DJs who you turn away? Like what do you look for?
I mean, some of it is like I feel like what a lot of promoters and venues say is like, hey, come out and support, you know?
Yeah.
So that's always going to take some form of priority because you appreciate the people who appreciate you and they're showing support and they're like committed to that because, you know, what you don't want, unless they're super top-notch quality, is for someone to just come out and bring their 5 or 6 friends, play their set, and then leave and never show up again.
Yeah.
For any show, any future show, any sport. There's no real value to that unless they're like just the best badass DJ.
Right.
But aside from that, I'd say, I mean, quality and is definitely still
Quality for sure.
For
I mean,
sure,
that's
you
the
know?
biggest thing that I look into.
Into the mic.
Quality is the biggest thing that I look into when anybody's wanting to play. That's our biggest thing about our party.
Define quality. Like quality of what?
Track selection, mixing, just overall aspects of DJing. I feel like nowadays DJing's got a little watered down. So I've been a little bit more selective of, you know, who we kind of put on our roster just because of that.
And I'd say energy and vibes is a huge one. Like we if you've ever been to one of our shows, like it's a vibe, it's a party, you know, like it's not just like a normal club event. And we like to try to maintain that like energy. Like I want to take the club experience and a house party experience and mix it together where like you're at a show and you're hearing top-notch music, but you're still vibing with your friends, actually dancing, not just jumping, you know, getting some food, getting some drinks, and just having a fucking good time.
Yeah. So, you know, Bootz N Catz has been around for a while. Bootz N Catz has been around for 5 years now.
Yep.
Looking back on your time creating this entertainment company, if you could talk to yourself, you know, day one of creating Bootz N Catz, what advice would you give yourself?
Probably a little bit more focus. It is tough juggling a full-time job and trying to essentially run a promotions company at the same time and DJing on top of that. So it is a lot to juggle. I wish I had more time. I wish there was more time in the day. That's kind of the one thing that I do look back on that I wish I had more of was just focusing more on Bootz N Catz.
Like to focus on what aspects of it?
Probably overall marketing, I guess. Promotions. I feel like that's maybe a little where we lack just because of the full-time job aspect.
Organization of the big business structure, I'd say, is because like, we're good friends, good DJs. We have a good network, but there's a lot of the business side of stuff that we've learned along the way that we probably should have done more research into early on. How much stuff costs, more negotiations with management groups. We've now partnered with a few other groups, and I've learned so much from them on how do you negotiate with artists. Like, do you just take what they say they're offered, or are there other incentives? And it's been something that I've learned, like when it comes to like, hey, we'll offer you X amount plus a bonus if you sell out, versus just being like, what's the negotiated flat rate,
Yeah.
random things like that,
So
the not so sexy side of booking artists.
So let's say that you're trying to book a big artist. We'll use Dylan Nathaniel as an example.
Okay.
And Dylan Nathaniel says, I want $30K for this show.
Mm-hmm.
What would your response be?
Initially, like, so this is where it comes into like learning. Initially, it'll be like, oh, 30K is too much. Can we offer you 25 HGR? HGR is Hotel, Ground, and Rider, if you don't know. And then they may come back with whatever. Oh, let's do 27. Or you could say, let's do 28, no Hotel, Ground, and Rider, just 27 all in or whatever.
What is ground?
Ground is ground transportation.
So like Uber.
Yep.
If,
to and from hotel, to and
yeah.
from airport, to and from venue.
So hotel, ground, and rider.
Yep.
Well, I guess there's probably standards with all of that.
It
But,
all
like,
depends.
It all depends on the
contract.
artist and their contract. Yeah.
So, like, what kind of riders have you guys experienced?
Luckily,
for the most part,
and I feel like in
mean-
the house scene, it's not too crazy.
Yeah.
It's usually, waters, meal buyout, some kind of alcohol, whether it's beer or liquor. And I think the only other thing I've seen on some of our stuff is like fresh towels, maybe some socks. But I've heard
some crazy
stuff of
like
Like what?
only yellow M&Ms, only red Starburst, local weed,
Yeah.
yeah. Must be local.
That's funny. Yeah, I know the Rolling Stones had M&Ms, but with all of the brown M&Ms taken out. And the reason for that was because if they looked in the bowl of M&Ms and they found brown M&Ms, then they would think to themselves, oh, well, what else did they not put in that we asked for? Where else in our rider, in our in what we need, did they cheap out on?
Yeah,
so
cut
stuff
corners.
like that. Where did they cut corners? That's the phrase
yeah.
that I'm looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty smart way of going about it.
Yeah.
for
like
sure.
it seems a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But it has a good purpose.
And the thing is, even with riders, a lot of artists will, or their management teams will come up with riders as like a high level, and you can always will back from that. Because, some artists will be like, we want this $2,000 bottle of alcohol. And we're like, hey, cool. So that's not what we're going to make on the whole entire show. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah, one of them wanted like a 20+ guest list.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like our parties are like 200 people, so it's like a tenth of our people.
yeah.
So you just negotiate back and forth.
That is actually one thing that I've always wondered about, because I thought that if you're the artist, you can just bring whoever you want.
If you're a high level artist, sure. But if you're just getting onto the scene, or you're just kind of on the come up, you can get some, but you can't just ask for the world,
Right.
I mean, you can ask
Right.
for the world, but you're
Yeah.
going to get denied some stuff.
Yeah. And plus, let's look at this from the other aspect. I think the coolest thing about like having a friend or someone who is an artist and who's putting on a show, the coolest thing about that is, hey man, I bought a ticket to your show.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I love you. I love that you're following a passion. And yeah, I could ask you for a guest list spot. I could probably show up and be like, oh, I know the artist. But if you really support someone, then buy a ticket.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even know if Nate knows. I've almost always bought 2 to 3 tickets for any of our shows personally, just to be able to just give them out to people that I want to. But that way I'm not taking any money away from Bootz N Catz. It's just my own money, just doing whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You're supporting yourself. And
Exactly.
you're getting people out there.
Yeah,
You're letting
yeah.
people know that you're
Yeah.
having an awesome show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just being able to support your friends and support people who you want to support, whether or not you know them, is just such a great thing.
And you know, the other thing with us is we always tried to, and part of the reason why we've done the shows the way we have with some up and coming artists and smaller venues is we have always tried to keep our shows under $20, you know, and that comes with its own set of restrictions and limitations and hardships of being like, where can we, you know, save money without sacrificing the party?
Right.
You know, because you still want it to be the best experience possible. But, you know, we know times are tough. Everyone's strapped and we still want to have a good time, but not break the bank, you know?
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at with Playhouse. I've done one play. So for the listeners, Playhouse is my new show. It's once a month. Right now it's at PTL. DJs show up before the show technically starts to put their names into a bucket. And the whole show is literally just me on stage picking names out of the bucket. If I pick your name out of the bucket, DJ Mickey, you get on stage and do 15 minutes of DJing. And the whole thing is recorded for content from multiple angles. I'm hosting the whole thing. It's awesome. The first one was totally free. The second one is going to be totally free. One day, I would like it to be a ticketed event.
Right.
So that I can, you know, make money and pour it back into Playhouse and get more videographers, make it better, get more editors, things like that. But when people show up and just put their name into the bucket and they're able to get on stage, that entices them to come out.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, one day I would like it to be ticketed, though, because I would like it to be a full-time thing. That would be amazing.
Of course.
Yeah, that'd be so sweet. Yeah, well, I'm thinking, is there anything that we didn't really talk about that we probably want to talk about?
Can we mention our 5-year party?
Yeah. So, okay, so you're having a party coming up, right?
Yep.
Tell me about that.
April 29th at the Bricks, Ybor. That's going to be Lisbona Sisters.
Super cool group from Miami. They've got releases on South of Saturn, Nervous Records. And yeah, it's our 5-year party. Doing it a little bit different this time.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Let's stop. I'm going to ask again, and I want you guys to be way more excited.
Okay.
Because we have a 5-year party. You know, it's coming up. It's with the Lisbona Sisters. They're really awesome. They have releases. I want you guys to be more excited, okay?
All right.
So you guys are having a party coming up, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like your 5-year party?
Yeah. It's a 5-year party. It's going to be at Bricks, Ybor, April 29th. It's going to be free before 11, which we've never really done before. So, you know, we're trying to get everybody out, have a good time.
We're super excited too because it's like, you know, 5 years, a culmination, going through the ups and downs, losing all our stuff, coming back, and we just want to make sure it's a banger so we can keep doing this.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, that sounds wonderful. Thank you guys so much for coming on the Graham Radio interview series.
Appreciate you having us.
Of course.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I think you guys have a DJ set to yeah.
Let's do
so I'm curious, what kind of music are you guys gonna bring to the Graham Radio Takeover?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Dance music.
Dance music. You know.
You might have heard of it.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. I think I have. All right. Well, for the listeners, I love you. Peace.
See you.
Wonderful. All right. Great job.